Honorable members, I want to welcome you to this afternoon sitting.
On Tuesday, 26 November 2024, a majority report of the Committee on Education and Sports on the proposed National Teachers Bill 2023 recommended that teachers be registered if they possess a degree, a position that was challenged by a minority report of the committee.
The policy behind this bill is to give effect to the National Teachers Policy, which was adopted by the Cabinet on the 1st April 2019. The bill embeds the new policy direction and arrangements in legislation by professionalizing and demanding the teaching profession in order to improve the development and management of teachers generally.
Clause 28 of the bill provides that a person is eligible to be registered as a teacher if he or she possesses a degree in education. The committee observes that the bill intends to ensure that the teaching profession is regularized and standardized, and the requirement of a bachelor's degree of a teacher will go a long way in achieving this. Committee recommendation, Clause 28 should be amended to provide for eligibility for registration for teachers as a degree in education or a relevant degree and a postgraduate diploma in education for a pre-primary, primary, and secondary teacher.
Government should not impose a requirement of a degree on an area where they do not have a hand. The committee interacted with the Uganda Private Teachers Union, WUPTU, which indicated that it is unproven and unnecessary to require a nursery teacher to possess a degree. Instead, they require more early childhood development skills, as no clear nursery education curriculum has been put by the ministry except for the learning framework, which is still an experimental version. Considering the deplorable working conditions and the salary levels of most teachers in private schools, it is impossible to assume that they may conveniently require the degree qualifications required, except when issues of their welfare, particularly salary, is well answered to.
In the sitting, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Honorable Chris Baryomunsi, presented an update on the progress of the implementation of the national backbone infrastructure in the country.
We have had 4 phases of the NBI, which have been successfully implemented, spanning a total distance of 4,298.87 kilometers of optical fiber cable, connecting over 1,567 government ministries, departments, and agencies, local governments, hospitals, health centers, schools, and target user groups, amongst others. The NBI has been extended to 10 major border points of Uganda with its neighboring countries, with Kenya at Busia and Malaba, South Sudan at Olaba and Eregu, DRC at Vura, Gori and Mpondwe, Tanzania at Mutukura, and Rwanda at Katuna and Mirama Hills, respectively. So we have connected this optic fiber to the neighboring countries so that we are able to have seamless services at the border points.
There is lack of coordination and linkage with other regional institutions. You will find that NIRA will have information about a member of parliament, and when you want to access it elsewhere, you may not get access because there is no interconnection. Madam Speaker, we are aware that we have about 580 Wi-Fi hotspots said to be functioning or operational, but they are not, Honorable Minister.
In some of the loans he has talked about, 47% has been spent. As Parliament, we would like to be interested in substantively what is the impact, because this is the loan we have to pay back. So in your next update, you need to tell us you have spent 47%, but what does it mean in terms of access, the areas that have been covered, in terms of the cost?
Also in the sitting, a section of opposition members of parliament called for explanations over the controversial arrest of former presidential candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye in Nairobi, Kenya.
There are laws, international and domestic, that govern extradition and deportation. The Ugandan, Kenyan, and international laws were all in this case not followed.
Many things confused me, even as a lawyer, that I thought government would probably elucidate on, so that we have a good understanding. Even those of us who are trying to understand the legalities, to know on behalf of the country how this gets to happen.
Colonel retired Dr. Kizza Besigye was arrested, produced in court, charged, and remanded to Luzira prisons, and he will be availed back to court on the 2nd of December 2024.
There are, however, two fundamental issues that government should make a statement on. That relates to our relationship with Kenya, especially in light of the fact that we have an extradition treaty with that country. That is outside the purview of sub judice.
I have asked the Minister of Internal Affairs to bring the report and Foreign Affairs.
Permit us to bring the statement without injuring the substantive matter in court on Tuesday next week.
During the sitting, Grace Ngabirano Akfeza took oaths of allegiance and of Member of Parliament as the new representative for Kisoro District, following her victory in a by-election held on 14th November 2024.
I, Akifeza Grace Ngabirano, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. So help me God.
You're most welcome to 11th Parliament. This is a people-centered parliament, and where we believe we should take parliament to the people and bring people to the Parliament of Uganda. I want to urge you to be a servant leader. Serve your people of Kisoro. Start from where the late left, and for you to be effectively perform your duty, here is a constitution for you, the supreme law of the land, and here are the rules of procedure that you'll be using in your day-to-day work. I want to congratulate you for coming to the 11th Parliament.
On Wednesday, 27th November 2024, the Speaker, Anita Among, ordered for a probe into allegations of bribery, extortion and nepotism in the recruitment of teaching and non-teaching staff in seed schools.
Whereas it is true that the Education Service Commission has been conducting school-based recruitment in the previous seed schools, it has come to the attention of government that the recruitment process had been infiltrated by the corrupt tendencies and opportunism, which include the following. The Ministry and Education Service Commission has received credible information of irregular secondments of staff to those schools with a view that the appointment shall be regularized by the Education Service Commission. This was being done on condition that the prospective teachers, they pay heavy sums of money to be included on the list of sitting teachers.
We had a second meeting with the current PS, Minister of Education, together with the Human Resource Minister of Education, who confirmed to us that the volunteer teachers were going to be given first priority. So I get disturbed, and that's where I depart from my colleague, that these teachers have been teaching for 6 years. It is okay, Right Honorable, it is okay if they fail if they fail the interview, because this interview is a competence test.
Yes.
If they fail, it means they do not qualify.
We expect a report where they have investigated, where these teachers have been given a fair hearing. And based on that, this report, the petition, together with what Honorable Minister has presented, should go to the Committee of Education and Sports, together with a Committee of Public Service and Local Government, a joint committee. And sports will take a lead and present to this house all these allegations that have been brought, and the persons who are affected are given a fair hearing.
During the sitting, the Speaker applauded Uganda's motocross team for excelling in the recently concluded 2024 FIM Africa Motocross of Nations Championship held in Marrakesh, Morocco, and called for better funding to the sport.
Finance, before Honorable Akena and the team went to Morocco, they sent their motorcycles. The motorcycles have been confiscated in Morocco because they could not afford to even transport the motorcycles back. Your senior minister was in this house and pledged that very day that you're even delaying in the house. You go and make a requisition and I'll give you the money. So Honorable Akena, over to you.
Right, Honorable Speaker, as you mentioned, before going to Morocco, I came on the floor, with your permission, to plead with finance to honor the obligations which had been put in the budget in support towards sports. We were ably supported by the Minister of State for Sports, but unfortunately, with finance, we're still struggling on getting things done. But as we promised, as we're going to Morocco, that we're going to represent the country well, there's a category for the older people, riders over 50. Yes, I was the one representing Team Uganda. I did not just go there as a spectator, I decided also to participate. I was able to get a third in the second and the third heat. I also have my small trophy here.
Thank you, thank you.
When it comes to money releases, that's not mine. So I really want to appeal to my colleague who is seated next to me. Support me to support the young people of this country and the adults to explore their full potential in terms of promoting and making the flag of our country high across the globe.
On Thursday, 28th November 2024, the Minister of State for Finance in charge of general duties, Honorable Henry Musasizi, told Parliament that investigations are underway following the alleged hacking of Bank of Uganda's systems.
The Fourth Estate has reported, including government media houses, has reported a haste at Bank of Uganda. Some reports have indicated $17 million, that's about 62 billion shillings. Others have indicated $13 million, that's about 48 billion shillings. And some narratives are there was a hacking by some people in South Asia, and this money was swiped to accounts in Asia. Other reports indicate it was an inside job of Bank of Uganda. It's important that we know what exactly is happening at our central bank. If monies are being siphoned, whether it be by hackers, whether it be by staff of Bank of Uganda, it should worry all of us.
It is true, our accounts were hacked into, but not to the extent of what is being reported. When this happened, we instituted an audit and at the same time an investigation. The Auditor General is doing the audit and CID at the same time is doing an investigation. Madam Speaker, to avoid misrepresentation of facts, I wish to seek indulgence of this House that we be patient. When the audit is finalized, which is now at the tail end, and also CID finalizes his investigation, I come to this house and report.
In the sitting, the Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, assured Parliament that government will address the plight of Abavandimwe, a community of Ugandans of Rwandese origin.
The committee observes that the alleged segregation and infringement on the rights of the Banyarwanda, including challenges to their citizenship, passport denials, and confiscated national IDs, arise from the dispute on whether all Banyarwanda are indigenous to Uganda. The timeline of events and the historical background regarding their classification as Banyarwanda in the Constitution will perpetuate the debate over who genuinely qualifies as a Banyarwanda residing within Ugandan borders as of February 1st, 1926. The current seething process and legal framework is comprehensive in dealing with applicants for national IDs and passports. Ministry of Internal Affairs is obliged to issue identity cards and passports to those who qualify for Ugandan citizenship according to the Uganda's laws. Thus, applicants for national identity card or passport must prove their identity as Ugandan citizens as they assert. Consequently, each application is evaluated individually based on the provisions of the Constitution. The applicant's biographical details in the application are assessed against legal criteria, leading to a conclusion based on a balance of probabilities. The committee therefore recommends that 1. Indigenous communities in the 1995 Constitution should be determined based on their ethnicity and ancestral criteria. Banyarwanda, who cannot trace their ancestral lineage but have lived in Uganda since birth, should seek alternative forms of Ugandan citizenship of naturalization or registration as outlined by the law.
The president met the group that is talking about Bavandimwe and these others on 25th October this year. He briefed cabinet on 28th October, and Right Honorable Speaker, a number of things are being done. And I want to promise members that government is doing a lot to make sure that this is solved.
There is an executive action being taken by government. It was discussed in the cabinet, and actions are being taken already. So we'll not adopt the report because the other one supersedes the report of today. We'll wait for the response from the minister on the actions that have been taken.
During the sitting, the State Minister for Gender and Culture, Honorable Peace Mutuzo, said the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence have supported the development of relevant laws and policies aimed at curbing the vice in Uganda.
The impact so far is that government has initiated policies and a lot of legal frameworks to prevent and respond to gender-based violence. And among them are the Anti-Female Genital Mutilation Act 2010, the Domestic Violence Act 2010, the Market Act 2023, the Computer Misuse Act 2023, among others. As a result, there is increased awareness on women's rights and response to gender-based violence. There is increased reporting, which is evidenced in the Police of Annual Crime Report, and we want to state that what used to be a taboo for men to report violence against them by women, they have now started responding and they are reporting.
Men have issues that we are keeping quiet with. Let's look at both men and women. All these people are suffering. It is just maybe the magnitude that differs, but all these people are suffering. So you need to look at area by area and then the percentage of the people, both women and what? And men. I was adjourned to Tuesday at 2.